My thoughts, my opinion. Sports podcast.
Yo, what it is? Welcome back to another episode of MTMO Sports Podcast, Doug, and this is my 145th thought, yo. Woo, getting up there, trying to tell y'all, yo, even though I did miss a couple of weeks, you feel me, yo? Did y'all miss me while I was gone, yo? Because I ain't going to hold y'all, yo. I miss being behind the mic, yo, giving y'all my opinions about what's going on in the sports world, yo. Even couple of people had hit me up and saying, yo, Doug, where you been at, yo? When you gonna drop the next episode? So here I am. Hopefully they join in on this episode as well. But before we, get to talking, matter of fact, let's talk about the topics I'm gonna be talking about, yo. We're gonna be talking about Myles Garrett. It's trouble in Cleveland. My guy wants out, you feel me? Also, it's trouble in the same state that Myles Garrett is from, the San Antonio Spurs. They got a star that got to be sitting out due to health issues now. And I'm going to also give my opinion on that and give an update on the head coach of the San Antonio Spurs. And also, we got a big fight. Big fight, yo. We got the battle of the DMVs, you feel me? We got Javante Tank Davis versus Lamont Roach Jr., yo. Most definitely can't wait to see that fight tomorrow, yo. So we're gonna weigh in on that, get my prediction, what round, who I think is gonna stop, or it might go the distance. You never know. But before we get on talking about those topics, if you're not already a subscriber, yo, please help me get to my little mini goal to 1,000 subscribers. So please go out here, like, share, and subscribe to this YouTube channel, because I'm trying to tell you, this is the sports YouTube channel you need in your YouTube rotation and in your podcast rotation regardless, you feel me? Because I give y'all the dope topics and I weigh in on my opinions, and it most definitely won't be repetitive and what you hear over on any other social media platforms, you feel me? So please go out here and spread the word, and make sure they can go out here and tell them that that MTMO Sports Podcast is the podcast that you need, you feel me? So enough about that real quick. Also, if you do not know about this nonprofit organization, which I am a part of, called Walk a Mile in Our Shoes, I am the regional coordinator here in Baltimore, and I want y'all to go out here and start follow the movement of this nonprofit organization, because we out here making great strides to support the less fortunate out here. We are out here. I just did my clothes drive for the less fortunate. It was a great turnout. It felt so good to give back to the my community, and it was just a dope atmosphere. So if y'all have not already checked that out, please go on Walk a Mile in Our Shoes social media platforms, where there's videos, there's pictures. There is even a video about me saying what do charity means to me. So make sure y'all go out there and check out Walk a Mile in Our Shoes. So we are in a great spot right now, and we are moving in a great wave. So make sure y'all go out here and hop on the wave, you feel me? So check us out, yo. Once again, yo, Walk a Mile in Our Shoes is on in all social media platforms, TikTok, Instagram, X, Twitter. You know what I mean? Just go out here and check us out. So, got the business part of the podcast over with. Now, let's go ahead and talk about some sports, Doug. Yo, Cleveland. The Cleveland Browns, I'm not going to get them mixed up with the Cleveland Cavaliers, because the Cleveland Cavaliers is balling this year. They is taking their minds off what the hell the problem is going on with the Cleveland Browns. And Myles Garrett, their number one overall pick in the 2017 draft, is not even requesting no more. He is demanding a trade to get the hell up out of Cleveland. And I ain't gonna hold you, Doug. If I'm him, yes, get me the hell up out of Cleveland. He is 29, set to be 30 about towards the end of the season, next season. So he's in his prime. He is always in the conversation of the top sack leaders in the game. He's always either top 3. Sometimes just maybe top 2 if he's not number 1. So Myles Garrett, after the season that they had, say, Doug, I'm going into my 9th season. I can't keep going these losing ways. And the way the Cleveland Browns are set up, they are set up for failure. They are set up and they are dog shit in the way they are set up right now. Dog pound, dog shit. That's what they in right now. They fucked themselves by going all in with Deshaun Watson. Don't get me wrong. I understood the assignment. You needed a quarterback. You felt like Deshaun Watson still had the juice left before he went down with the situations. They felt like, hey, we can go ahead and this is going to be our franchise quarterback right here. He can get us over the hump. After you screwed Baker Mayfield, who you drafted just 3 years before you went on, 4 years before you went on here and got Deshaun Watson, before you took on that major trade. Gave that man a fully guaranteed contract. Haven't did shit in a whole year. Year and some change to be exact. And everybody knew and outside of Cleveland was like, that's a bad deal. Don't get me wrong, Deshaun Watson is a good player, but that's a bad deal. If you give him all this money, how are you going to pay other guys? And here we are. Your top guy, your best player on the team is saying, I had enough. Get me the hell out of here. This guy recorded 14 sacks. Was number 2 last year. 3 forced fumbles last year. Was tied 9th with that. He had 47 tackles, in the season. 40 of them was solo. But majority of the time, you got to sit here and think that he's still being double teamed, chipped in. He goes through a lot. He demands a lot of attention. So, but even still with a subpar year, he was still number 2 in sacks. He was still He was still keeping the Cleveland Browns defense alive. Because now you're creating opportunities for other guys. And you ain't really put no more money into the defensive side. You ain't try to bring those stars over in free agency because you can't. You spent all that damn money on Deshaun Watson. And the Cleveland Browns were saying, oh no, we're going to retain Myles Garrett. We're going to make sure he's a Cleveland Brown for life. Y'all offer him a contract extension. Say you don't want that. It ain't about the money no more. He wants to be in the culture where that he can be in winning ways, winning positions. It ain't about the money. It was funny. And then the Cleveland Browns representation goes to the NFL Combine because they knew that Myles Garrett representation is going to be there. And they probably was trying to say, hey, what's up? Is Myles Garrett going to sign that contract extension, or is he going to come? Is he going to stay? Pause. Is he going to stay with us? What's up? Representation said, nope. He still wants to trade, and we are no longer going to be talking negotiations with y'all any longer. Close the door on all conversations. Say we are done. Like his agency said, no, we are done. We don't care about the money no more. We care about what my client wants. And my clients don't want to be in Cleveland no more. And that's sad, yo. That's like really sad. Like the Cleveland Browns only had, I'm not going to say they had an opportunity to make the Super Bowl, but they only had one good playoff year. And, you know, granted, I believe they got booted out the second round because it was still a unorganized team a little bit. You know, my guy Baker Mayfield was he's still a gunslinger, but, you know, he was typically throwing more interceptions in the bad situations in the bad time because, you know, like I said, Cleveland Browns had a decent team. It was just bad coaching and still unorganized. It still wasn't right in that front office, in my opinion. So, still ain't right. And now, like I said, Myles Garrett wants out. And there's a lot of scenarios that where Myles Garrett can end up going. If the Cleveland Browns play their cards right, you can still get something good in return. And if I'm Myles Garrett, I understand. Before I get y'all where I think that if I'm Myles Garrett, where I think he should go. Let me go ahead and say this because I know a lot of my Ravens fans was saying like, "Yo, Myles Garrett should come here." Bop, bop, bop. Let me tell you right now, Doug. The Cleveland Browns ain't going to care what the Ravens is offering. Maybe Lamar Jackson. But we all know that the Ravens ain't giving up Lamar Jackson. But we don't care what you are offering. We don't want to see Myles Garrett twice a year. That's dead. So I can tell y'all right now, the Cleveland Browns ain't trading Myles Garrett here to Baltimore. They're going to try their best to probably trade him outside of the conference. They don't, you know, they ain't trying to see not even maybe once a year. They probably going to sit here and try to say, you know, trade him outside the, you know, the conference, and maybe we'll see him once every 3 years, 4 years, maybe, especially if it's a big game. You know, with the Cleveland Browns, we're going to suck, so we ain't going to get that many big games. Just my opinion, dog. So, if I'm Myles Garrett, yo, I will try to force a trade to the Washington Commanders. I believe that that will be a great fit for him. I think that will most definitely rejuvenate him. I believe that will most definitely help him on his prime of his career. Because whether people know it or not, yo, the Washington Commanders are up and coming team, and I'm not saying that they are going to be the top dogs of the NFC East anytime soon. Because I still feel like the Eagles are still set up to be, you know, the top team in that division. Now, unless they give away some key players like A.J. Brown might go and they don't get nothing in return, then it's a possibility that, you know, they can start dropping down. But I still feel like the Eagles will be, the top dog of that division. But if you can somehow get Myles Garrett to come over to the Washington Commanders, I believe that Myles Garrett can most definitely help the Commanders potentially beat them at least once a year. I ain't going to fully give them 2 times a year, but it will be one hell of a game, though. Both games. Potentially can set up for a third game in the playoffs. But I would go to the Washington Commanders if I'm Myles Garrett. I would say, yo, get me there. Because number one, the Washington Commanders have a defensive-minded head coach in Dan Quinn. So bringing in a top dog like Myles Garrett will most definitely help things out in the Commanders' locker room on that defensive side. Somehow, some way, you can retain your other top defender and on that line and Jonathan Allen. That will be one hell of a fucking duo. That will be a scary duo at that too. So I will kind of just think about that. You know what I mean? Will be a number one option because they got a defensive-minded head coach. Number two, whether people like it or not, the Washington Commanders have a bright future, especially as long as that they can protect Jaden Daniels and put some more weapons around Jaden Daniels. And Myles Garrett can also be a weapon for Jaden Daniels because Myles Garrett can come over there and create havoc as he does already. And now you're potentially getting the ball back multiple times a game for Jaden Daniels, which sets up time of possession and maybe potentially putting up points. The Washington Commanders would be scary. Now, you got to make sure that you are willing to give a contract extension for Myles Garrett. That which means now it's a potential that you might lose that other defensive lineman, what's his name, Jonathan Allen, in free agency, because I'm pretty sure wherever Myles Garrett is wherever he ends up, he's gonna want a contract extension, and I'm pretty sure teams is going to looking to give him a contract extension. So, you know what I mean, that can potentially be a problem. But I think the Washington Commanders, just the what they done last year, their defensive line was pretty stout when it came to holding their own. And then you, like I said, you add a Myles Garrett to the picture, then woof, that'd be scary. So I would think about going to the Washington Commanders, and I think the Washington Commanders would be a perfect fit for Myles Garrett, in my opinion. So if I'm Myles Garrett, that's one place I would try to force my way to get into. Another team that maybe come across my mind when it comes to Myles Garrett, maybe can bolster their team and help their team. I would still be an NFC team. But what about the Detroit Lions? Now, understand they still got the young guy that's coming back from injury. But if you can get Myles Garrett to the Detroit Lions, woo-wee. And then you could slowly bring back the young guy. You already got Zadarius Smith over there. I believe he's gonna be under contract for that, for them. So now you got a 3-headed monster. But is Detroit willing to pay that price on that defense? Because I'm pretty sure they are thinking the more weapons they can get for Jared Goff, the better that offense can, rejuvenate and won't be a first-round bust or second-round bust, because they had the first-round bye this year. So, that can be another thing to honestly think about him going to. Another team is I'm gonna give y'all a third team now, since it just popped in my head. A third team that I can think about Myles Garrett going to. Toss up. Ooh, this is a toss up. Because another team that's popped in my head. But I'm going to go with the first team, the Denver Broncos. The Denver Broncos have a pretty stout defense. The Denver Broncos finished in the top 10 of defense last year, and they got a defensive player of the year playing on that corner. So just imagine if you can add a Myles Garrett to boost to that defense, man, and you got Sean Payton with a good offensive minded coach, but he brings out the best in players because look what he did for Bo Nix. He had Bo Nix in the rookie of the year conversation. He had Bo Nix better than the number 1 overall pick in Caleb Williams, at least stat wise. So I just really feel like that if Myles Garrett can go to the Denver Broncos and help bolster that defense of what they already have now, woof, the Denver Broncos can be very scary in the AFC West. So those are the 3 teams that comes to mind where I really feel like that Myles Garrett can really help that team to get to the next level to be a championship minded team. And the first team I really just really think that it's a better fit is the Washington Commanders. So I just really just think that Myles Garrett should explore those options that that I just gave. Now I'm pretty sure it's going to be, a Super Bowl already made team is probably going to try their best to get Myles Garrett, because why not? I would love for him to become a Raven, honestly. Like I said, that would be like mind blowing to bring him here. That would be close to him. That would be close to that Luka and AD trade. Like dang, where did that come from? Type so that would be dope. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Philadelphia Eagles try their hand. I wouldn't be surprised if Kansas City Chiefs try their hand. So I really just wouldn't be surprised if you see those top, Super Bowl favorite teams. I'm not gonna say contenders. I'm gonna just say, prediction wise favorite teams. I can see those maybe trying their bid, or they could be, because content of what they have already. But most definitely the Washington Commanders is most definitely my favorite landing spot for Myles Garrett. So I can most hopefully see that come across my ticker and newsflash if that really happens. So while I'm on the NFL, and talking about my beloved Ravens, what the hell is going on real quick? Like, what the hell is going on, Doug? Flock Nation, what is wrong? What is going on? It's either former Ravens and goddamn current Ravens that's really having problems this year, Doug, and I'm not liking it. I'm starting to think it's the harbor water. You know what I mean? And if you're a Baltimore, then we already know, like, we don't drink no harbor water. We don't go nowhere near that harbor water or anything in that nature. I don't care what they say, how clean it is. We ain't touching that water. But we got, like I said, we got former players, we got current players. It's all getting into some situations. We got Terrell Suggs pleading guilty for pulling out a handgun during a drive-thru. Like, dog, you were just a Hall of Fame finalist. What the hell is you doing? Like, that can really hold them voting you in next year, So that is mind-blowing on that. You got Steve Smith in his situation coming out talking about he was having an affair on his wife while doing his season. It's like, what the hell going on? Then we got Ben Cleveland. Ben Cleveland getting caught with a DUI. I believe he on his way out, though. I don't think that the Ravens is going to keep putting up with him. I really think that he's going to be on out. And the greatest kicker of all time, in my opinion, or one of the greatest kickers of all time. Let me put it like that. Justin Tucker with these sexual misconducts allegations, dog. Like, what is going on? What is going on, yo? You got all these women coming out saying that he was inappropriate, throwing at Deshaun Watson. When I first seen this news, y'all was like, nah, yo. Not Justin Tucker. Not the guy that was on Royal Farms commercials. Not the guy that sang his opera. Not one, you know what I mean? Not the guy that's married. No way. I don't see that. So I didn't say nothing. Didn't post the videos or nothing in that. And then the sexual allegations just kept on piling up and piling up and piling up. And I'm looking like, whoa, is this serious? Then, I see that the Ravens didn't budge. So I was like, all right, maybe it can be. It just got to be smoke. But as my guy Kyrie puts it, with there's smoke, there's fire. So more women came out and started doing little interviews saying that, it was inappropriate. I was like, no, yo, not Tucker, yo. Then his wife comes out and, says she support her husband. Don't believe that none of these allegations are true. Anything, as a wife probably should. Back your man up. But you know what kind of gets me to make me scratch my head a little bit? He apologized about the situation. And it gets me like to thinking, what are you apologizing for? If you didn't do anything, if you're innocent, what are you apologizing for? So, I'm kind of on the fence, yo. Like, I want to say like, no, he didn't do it. This is all false allegations. You know what I mean? But you don't really know a person until you know a person. So, and I don't know Justin Tucker what he do on this off time. I don't know if he's really into looking for happy endings or whatever the situation he might have did. You know what I mean? It's just mind-boggling. But to apologize is to almost saying admitting that you are wrong, in my opinion. So I'm like I said, I'm on the fence. It's just crazy, shocking. The Ravens is also saying that they're gonna let the NFL do their investigation, do their due diligence, and we're gonna let whatever the NFL says happen. We're gonna ride with their decision. The Ravens is also will be looking for kickers during the off season. And a lot of people was like, in the comments, like, maybe this is why Justin Tucker was having a struggling year. It's because of he knew that these allegations was brewing up, was bothering him. That's why he was missing those kicks. So I don't know. It just, damn, Doug. Steve Smith, I really don't got too much to say on that one. It just hate to say it, like sometimes, people cheat on their wife all the time. I'm not saying that he did do it. It's not my place to say he did do it. It just sucks that, these, situation is, on you. That sucks. But also, Sizzle, this is another one that hurts me, yo. Like, dog, like, now we all know that Sizzle always had like an attitude problem a little bit. Couldn't always keep control of his emotions. But yo, to pull out a gun, dog, it's like, yo, what are we doing here, yo? Why did you do that? And like I said, yo, what really hurts me is because my guy was almost in the Hall of Fame, yo. And I really just think that I'm hoping that it doesn't affect him to actually make the Hall of Fame next year. So that one really hurts. That one hurts right there, yo, because, you know what I mean? I'm a fan. I'm a T-Sizzle fan. And not just because I'm a Raven fan, but what he did during this era of football, yo, he was the guy. You feel me? So that one really bothered me on that one. So Ravens, Flock Nation, what the hell is going on, yo, with the Ravens, yo? Hopefully, you know, I mean, like I said, it's all just smoke and mirrors with Justin Tucker. I'm pretty sure Ben Cleveland is going to be gone this year. And Sizzle has already accepted a plea deal, and his situation hopefully just go ahead and just fade away. You know, I mean, he already got to do his. I forgot how many amount of hours he got to do for community service and stuff like that. But I just hope that, you know, things get better for him in that situation. Hope that things get better for, you know, all the Ravens, current and former Ravens. Just get that situation together, Doug, because this shit ain't right. This is this is beyond me. But now let's go and switch it to the NBA, man, because also the NBA is also having some trouble with one of their bright stars of the league. And this is like a scary time for the San Antonio Spurs. If I'm the San Antonio Spurs right now, man, I will be holding my breath. I will be very, very, very scared for the simple fact that your star, your face of your team, and Victor Wembanyama could potentially be out indefinitely, yo. Like, there's no timetable for when Wemby can come back, yo. None. And if y'all don't know already, yo, he's dealing with blood clot issues that's in his veins that is, you know, really, very severe. And if you don't already know, yo, this is the same situation that Brandon Ingram and Chris Bosh has went through. And if we are, you know, I mean, for the younger crowd who watches the show, yo, Chris Bosh was one hell of a player, yo, and he also had this same type of situation that Vic. Sorry, y'all, my nephew popped in on me again. But this is like a scary time because, like I said, Chris Bosh was I believe he was one of the top stretch forwards in this game during this time, and I felt like that Chris Bosh also had more game left in the tank, man. And with this health scare, you know, with this blood clot in his veins, it's just sucks that Chris Bosh wasn't able to finish his NBA career, you know, the way he wanted to. Because I'm pretty sure, you know, he wanted to still compete. Like I said, I felt like he still had gas in the tank. But on the plus side, like I said, Brandon Ingram also went through the same situations. Now, it can also affect Brandon Ingram again. You know, I mean, it can also pop up again. But like I said, he was able to come back in a short, brief of time. Now, it wasn't like no 6 weeks or something like that, but it wasn't as long as a period of time as Chris Bosh. So, what Brandon Ingram, you know, whatever treatments and stuff that he was able to go through, hopefully it can help Wemby out. So there's a plus side to this situation that Victor Wembanyama is going through. But man, it hurts the Spurs because I also had the Spurs being a play-in team, and I felt like that they was going to make the playoffs this year and show the versatility of this team. Because Wemby was already starting off on a good foot, man. He was averaging 24 points a game. He was averaging 11 rebounds. He was averaging 3.7 assists. He was shooting 47.5% for the field goal range. And we already seen that this guy was a unicorn. He was doing everything. He was on his way to be defensive player of the year this year. Like, he was hands down, that was his award. So we can just see like the Spurs is on the right trajectory of being in the positive light. They drafted well in this past draft when they got Stephon Castle. Now I wish it would have kept my guy that they traded to the Minnesota Timberwolves, but another story, another time. But Stephon Castle is a bright star in this league. And then you just got De'Aaron Fox in a trade deadline. So it was like, oh man, the Spurs really has something. They got a good young backcourt with a vet point guard, but he's still, in his mid to young, young age. Then you got Victor Wembanyama, who's also doesn't have to do too much on the offensive end. He's most definitely as effective on the defensive end. And then you have a player coach, Chris Paul, who can direct, things while Pop is down. And I get to him in a minute. So it was like the Spurs, which was on to something. Right now they only won 24 games right now. But I like I said, I really felt like the Spurs was on to something, because in the month of December, the Spurs was they was 3-3 in the month of December going into the All-Star break. And once they got to the All-Star break, they was a little bit wishy-washy, but still the Spurs was showing positive momentum. And now with Wemby being out indefinitely, I'm pretty sure the Spurs was not prepared for this. The team was not built for not having Wemby around and not having Wemby for possibly a long period of time. So now you look like, damn, is this like a wasted year for De'Aaron Fox? Because they're not going to make the playoffs. They're not going to make the play-ins this year, in my opinion. I don't think the Spurs have enough firepower to actually be even a strong play-in team. You know what I mean? Even if they are a play-in team, because currently they are sitting in the 13th spot in the West. That I don't really see them catching Phoenix. I don't really see them catching the Kings. I don't really see them catching. I really don't really see them catching Portland, and they only 2 games behind Portland. So I just don't see them making the play-in this year. So this is really going to affect the Spurs' future plans, also, in my opinion, because, like I said, we don't know when we're going to come back. Do you draft? How do you draft now? Do you go ahead and draft another potentially big star, or how do you bring a free agent in? Because you just don't know when Wemby come back. And when you do bring Wemby back, it's like, we all know that if Wemby is to get through this health issue, it's his team. He's the number one option. Doesn't matter who you bring in, of how the style you bring him in, whether it's free agency or whether it's trade or whether it's drafting. When it's Wemby's team. But for not knowing how long Wemby is going to be out, Doug, it's like, how do you set this up? How do you game plan this? Do you game plan it as, we feel like Wemby's going to got a chance to come back, and you still try to build a team around him? But then, like I said, that's like almost like a lose-lose situation, because even if you do that, how, if he doesn't come back, what now? So I feel like the Spurs are in the limbo right now. With trying to figure out who their identity of who they are and what they're trying to become. Wemby is setting them back at least a couple of years. especially if he's not able to make it back. Oh man, he is setting them back major years now. So I just wish Wemby nothing but the best. I hope he comes back because he's helping San Antonio be relevant again. He is helping San Antonio Spurs to actually get some TV time because everybody wants to see this guy play. You know what I mean? He was the biggest hype since LeBron James coming into the league. So Wemby most definitely is right for the NBA. Wemby is right for basketball because he's also has grown, you know what I mean, the popularity of it in France. Now, don't get me wrong, granted that France always had some great players out of there. Tony Parker, Boris Diaw, you know what I mean, and others. But Wemby, like I said, is bigger than those guys. You feel me? Yo, my God, what it is, yo. Man, I ain't talked to you in a minute, yo. What's going on with you? But yeah, yo, I just don't really feel like I mean, I really just feel like that Wemby is just great for the sport of basketball, you feel me? So I wish him nothing but the best. I'm hoping he can come back as soon as possible, whenever he's right. Hopefully he can get through this. Hopefully it's nothing major that is going to keep him out. They said he's going to pretty much shut him down for the rest of the season. So hopefully he's able to get right, get healthy throughout the off season, and he'll be back, back to playing basketball next in NBA next season. So I wish him nothing but the best. You know what else is having trouble down there at San Antonio Spurs, yo? Their head coach, Greg Popovich, who I believe is one of the greatest head coaches of all time. It was definitely a Hall of Fame coach and deserving to be respected as a Hall of Fame coach. You feel me? Man, nothing, man. Just what I mean, kicking my sports shit. You know what I mean? Feel me? I appreciate you hopping on, tuning in, yo. I was like I was saying, Greg Popovich is a phenomenal coach, yo. He helped build that San Antonio organization from the ground up, in my opinion. At once upon a time, yo, I hated the San Antonio Spurs because of the Twin Towers and the Ginobilis and the Parkers and what Greg Popovich had built just in the NBA period, yo. He is the godfather of the ball doesn't really have to touch the floor type offense. I believe that he is the godfather of that. So for him not to be in the NBA coaching right now, yo, is just like sucks, man. And I wish him nothing but a speedy recovery, because Greg Popovich is nothing but a standout head coach, yo. He is a 5-time NBA champion. He is a 3-time coach of the year. He is a 4-time NBA All-Star head coach. He is listed as top 15 coaches in NBA history. Greg Popovich also won a gold medal in Tokyo. He won a bronze medal for coaching the Team USA in 2004 in Athens. And he also won a gold medal in 2003 men's FIBA tournament. So Greg Popovich just knows the game of basketball, and it doesn't matter what type of level you put Pop in, yo. I believe that he's going to win. So and I believe that this is another reason why the San Antonio Spurs is also having a down year. Is you're not having your general there. You're not having a guy that's created this culture down in San Antonio. And I believe that Coach Pop will retire soon, in my opinion. I believe that his health is a major concern, and I believe that once he retires, he's going to have a front office job. It just my opinion, and he deserves it. He most definitely deserves it. And so I just really believe that this is pretty much. I believe that he haven't coached since November. He already came out and stated that he's not coaching. He's not be able to coach for the rest of this season. So that's out the question. If Coach Pop do not coach next year, I'm going to say 2025 is his last year. So if he doesn't start the season, next NBA season, which is what, like in late October, early November, something in that nature. If he's not back by then, I believe that he's going to retire, and I believe that he's going to be in the front office. So that's my prediction. I believe Coach Pop will retire by 2026. That's it. That's it. 2026, Coach Pop will retire, and he will be in the front office. So, shout out. I wish nothing but Coach Pop, nothing but a speedy recovery, man. Once again, like I said about Wemby, the NBA needs you. The game of basketball needs you. I can't wait till you're be able to coach again. Hopefully you're able to coach again. I wish you nothing but the best. Coach Pop. Like I said, man, you is one hell of a coach. All right. And talked about NFL and talked about the NBA, yo. Boxing has been kicking out some fights in this 2025, yo. It's been nothing but great fights that's happening, that had already happened, and that's great fights that's about to happen. And I ain't gonna hold you. One of a good fight, not gonna say great fight, but one of the good fights that's going to happen tomorrow night is my guy Gervonta Davis taking on Lamont Roach Jr., yo. And I think that people is going to be kind of sleeping on this fight because a lot of people don't really respect Lamont Roach. And I never seen Shorty fight before, so I had to go on YouTube and look Shorty up. And I ain't gonna hold y'all, yo. Shorty, all right. Shorty not bad as a lot of people is making yo out to be. Now, granted, he's not undefeated. You know what I mean? He out of 27 fights, he's 25. He has 25 wins, and he has 10 wins out of KO. He got one loss and one draw. He is a Golden Glove gold medalist in the lightweight division in 2013. So, Shorty pretty decent. Don't quite remember who he lost to and who that draw to, but he's pretty a decent fighter. Shorty can most definitely box. It ain't just no type of amateur type style. Like Shorty can really hold his own. Shorty can really get down for real. Now, is he an opponent that Tank should take on? I would have said no. I would have loved to see him fight somebody else before he fought Tank. And I would have liked to see him maybe be like a co-headliner in that fight. Maybe he should have took on like maybe like a Pitbull Cruz. Or maybe he should have fought Keyshawn Davis. You know what I mean? Because Keyshawn Davis is a hot name right now, and I really feel like that Keyshawn Davis has even though he doesn't have like the top, a lot of wins like a Tank Davis, but I feel like their style and their records kind of fit each other, mold each other a little bit. Even though Keyshawn Davis is undefeated, but I just really felt like that would have been, a fight that maybe if you would have beat Keyshawn Davis, like, yeah, now you call out Tank. But respect is respect. That lets me know, like, yo, he ain't worrying about who Tank Davis is. He's going to come in there and handle his money. I mean, he's been talking his talk. He ain't been chumping down. Like, don't get me wrong. I never seen none of the boxers really chump down a Tank when it comes to this interviews or nothing like that. But he's been talking his talk. Now he got to go out here tomorrow night to walk his walk with a big dog. And we already know who Tank is. We already know that Tank Davis is a dog. And if y'all don't know what Tank Davis record is, yo, try and pull it up real quick. Tank Davis is 30-0. 30-0. And the majority of his fights is by KOs. He's got a 94% rate, a knockout rate. So Lamont Roach is stepping in there with a big dog. And don't get me wrong, yo. Like I said, yo, you're going to be able to go ahead and box and stick and move with Tank. But I don't care what nobody fucking say. In the back of their minds, they are going to be worrying about that knockouts. And it's going to affect them. They're going to be sitting there thinking, nah, Shorty hasn't been knocked out. Lamont Roach hasn't been knocked out, but Lamont Roach has been knocked down before. You know what I mean? So so he'll be used to hitting the canvas if he do hit the canvas against Tank. I can say that, yo. But we already know that Javante is going to he's going to fill you out in the first couple of rounds. He's going to dance with you a little bit. He's going to tat, 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 pat, pat. If you leave yourself open, yeah, he's going to go ahead and try to kill you. But he's going to just try to fill you out a little bit. When it gets about that 6th round and above, 6, 7, 8, if you're still around, that's when he likes to go eat. That's when he likes to go hunt. That's when he start wearing his opponents down. Because he didn't sit there and try to figure you out in the first couple of rounds. He didn't, cut the ring off a little bit. He done made you move around a lot, made you exert a lot of energy. And now, a lot of people doesn't give Tank the credit of him knowing how to box, his style of boxing. Like, he's just not just a power puncher. He's just not just a knock you out type guy. No, my guy can really go out here and dance with the best and show real class hands, and he got fast hands. He got speed. Now, he just don't have power now. So I want a lot of people just go out here and give my guy his credit. And I'm tired of people keep talking about like, oh, he never fought nobody. That blah, blah. Yo, y'all got to sit here and think, yo, his last 5 fights was 71-0. They all was undefeated until they met Tank. So I don't want to hear none of that about he ain't really fight nobody and his resume speaks, yo. So I don't want to hear that this fight is phony and he shouldn't have took this fight. No. Like I said, I said that I felt like Lamont Roach should have took on somebody else before he took on Tank. But hey, we are here now. And I really just think that Tank is really going to put on a show for us. We already know that he's going to bring the stars out. Like, it is going to be live tomorrow. we already heard people was talking about having a bunch of. I heard a bunch of fight parties is being jumping off this weekend over this fight. So he's going to generate a lot of views. He's going to generate revenue no matter where he goes at. So he bring the stars out, he bring the money out. And I believe my guy going to get the job done. And I believe he's going to get it done by that. I'm going to say Gervonta Davis get the job done, knock Shorty out in the 8th round. Saying it right now. That's my prediction. 8th round. Gervonta said the same thing, and I feel like it's going to happen in the 8th round. I felt like that towards the end of this interview process and the training and stuff like that. I heard like a lot of the DC native guys that's rooting for Lamont Roach was popping that shit. And I think that here you shouldn't have poked the bear. Now, was Gervonta his normal self up there on those press conferences and stuff like that? Nah, he wasn't. He didn't troll as much as I thought he would. But when those guys start trash talking and they really felt like that Gervonta was trash, and I was like, y'all shouldn't have poked the bear, yo. Now y'all guys really gonna get it. Now y'all gonna be sitting there looking like, yo, he got his second defeat now, yo, what? And like I said, I think the outcome of this fight, Gervonta gets it done, knockout in the 8th round. I think he's going to get tired of dancing with Shorty. He already going to fill him out. And I really just think that he's going to catch Shorty multiple times before the 8th round. I believe he's going to put Shorty on the canvas about 6 in the 6th round. But like I said, I think that he's a good enough fighter. He already hit the canvas before. I felt like he's a good fighter that he can get back up after the first knockdown. But I really just think that a lot of people are going to sleep on my man boxing style, and people ain't going to give him his roses when it comes to he's going to outbox Shorty, and he's going to land that power punch. I believe, like I said, that 94-95% knockout ratio, yo, it's going to get it done. It's going to happen. It's probably going to get risen a little bit higher now. So Tank gets it done in the 8th round, knockout. Now, who I think that he should fight after this fight, yo? I ain't gonna hold you. I'm tired of seeing him going back and forth. I want to see him fight Shakur now. Like, the fight has to happen. I understand that people keep saying that this is the fight it needs and it wants and stuff like that, yo. I ain't gonna hold you. I want to see this fight now. At first, I wasn't a fan. I was like, nah, he should fight Teofimo Lopez. But after, they felt like he did this racist comment, which I understand. Fuck him. Don't bring that money to you. Let him find his own money. So I believe that now he should go ahead and fight Shakur. Get it over with. I'm tired of y'all going back and forth on Twitter. I'm tired of the encrypted messages and stuff like that, and fight each other. You felt like Lamont Roach is not really his caliber of fighter, and we felt like that electrician shouldn't have really been going the distance with you. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, you got the job done, but we felt like that you should have got him out of there a little bit sooner. But hey, it is what it is. So I really just think that this fight got to happen before Gervonta really retires, because it sounds like that he's going to retire. And if he wants that big money, I think this is going to be a big money fight right there. It's going to generate a lot of views. And I really think that this will be the fight of the year. I think that this will top the Canelo and Crawford fight. I think that this will put the Canelo and Crawford fight as number 2 if this fight was so happen. So this fight just got to happen. I hope it does happen. Gervonta, stand up. Baltimore, we're going to be standing up tomorrow because he's going to get the job done, like I said, in the 8th round. So can't wait. Tune in to my guy, Gervonta Davis. Tune into the whole card, undercards too, man. I believe it's going to be a decent fight. So tune into that. It's going to be a dope fight. Tune in to me as always. You feel me? So there you have it. I done gave y'all my 145th thought, yo. I hope y'all really enjoyed it. I appreciate everybody that tuned in. I appreciate everybody that's going to continue to keep tuning in. Because like I said, yo, I need y'all opinions. I need to tell me, what y'all think about these topics. Make sure y'all do that in the comments below. I'm gonna most definitely get back to y'all. So, there you have it. That was my 145th thought. We talked about Myles Garrett, contract situation. We talked about Wemby and his future. We talked about Coach Greg Popovich and his future. And I gave y'all my breakdown and my take on what the Javonte Tank Davis fight is going to be against Lamont Roach. So, like I said, make sure y'all go ahead and tap into all my social media platforms as y'all see across the ticker. Make sure y'all tune into my Instagram and TikTok at MTMO_sports podcast. Make sure y'all tune into my Twitter and known as X, and my Facebook as my THTS my opinion. Like I said, I not only just put my episode content on there, man. I do my YouTube and my Instagram shorts. I do short videos as well. So make sure y'all go out there and tap into the social media platforms as I'm trying to grow that as well. Make sure y'all go out here and check out Walk a Mile in Our Shoes nonprofit organization. Like I said, we are a real dope nonprofit organization that's out here to give back to our communities. And we are in 3 regions. We are in my hometown, Baltimore. We in North Jersey, and we also in South Jersey. So make sure y'all go out here and check us out as well. I believe that's about it. Make sure y'all go out here, tap into the MTMO spread shop, man. Y'all can get your MTMO gear, whether it's hats, hoodies, shirts, coffee mugs, backpacks, gym bags, whatever it is, man. Come out here and support your guy, yo, as I'm trying to grow MTMO spread shop. So make sure y'all go out there and tap in, tune into that, yo. I feel like I want to give another announcement, but I feel like that is it. So make sure y'all go out here, like, share, subscribe to this YouTube channel as I'm trying to get to my mini goal, 2,000 subscribers. Make sure y'all go out here, tell a friend who can possibly be a friend who wants to be your friend. That MTMO Sports Podcast is this podcast that you need in your podcast rotation, whether it's on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify, yo. Make sure y'all tap in. Make sure y'all comment. Make sure y'all go out here and just keep spreading the word, you feel me? So make sure y'all help me get to my mini goal. And as always, yo, I appreciate everybody that tapped in, that spread the word. And I will be back here next week. Keep y'all posted on the time, you feel me? I might go back to the 6 o'clock time, depending on what's going on. So make sure y'all tune in. Make sure y'all don't meet me there, yo. Beat me there, yo. And as always, yo, big trust. It's always gonna be Ravens Flock Nation here. So I catch y'all when I catch y'all, yo. And I'm out.